right. And here we are, folks. I am Daryl Grant, and we're here with another AOC Artist Check-In, and I have the honor and pleasure of sitting with my friend, fellow artist extraordinaire, talented woman, musician, vocal extraordinaire, just everything. My friend Terry Henry. Y'all say hello to Miss Terry Henry.
Oh, hi everybody.
Hey, friend, how are you?
How are you?
Hey, I'm hanging in there. I'm doing the best that I can.
Yes,
Just a little background. Terry and I had the honor of working on Sundays at 4. She played my mom.
yes, you did. Yes, you
Sundays
did.
at 4, a musical by Brittany Manyweather. We did it one year at the Atlanta Musical Theater Festival, and then y'all went on the next year and won the whole thing, right?
Yes, we did actually last year,
Last
2019.
year.
Yes, it was
Congratulations.
awesome. It's a great play. It's a great
Congratulations.
play. Thank you so much.
Yes. Well, everybody might have seen, Terry grace the stage. If you've had the pleasure, you know why I'm so excited to see her on the stage. That voice is amazing. But I just wanted to do a quick check-in with people that I care about, and just see how you're doing. How are you, Terry, with everything that's happening in the country, in the world, here locally in Atlanta? How are you doing with the weight of everything?
For the most part, honestly, I am doing great. For one, if I didn't know God, I would lose my mind.
Mm.
I would have really experienced a level of depression that would have just taken me down to the depths. Not to say I've been unaffected. My momentum, my get up and go, my want to has been a little lethargic. There's not been a lot of things to do. There's not been things to make me want to get up out the bed because nothing's been open. Nothing's going on. There's no theater. There's no auditions. There's no gigs. So just making myself stay enthusiastic about the day has been a challenge periodically. I'm grateful for life, right? I'm still blessed, but just having that momentum because I feel the weight. Oh, I feel the weight of everything that we're going through. And because I'm an empath, I've taken that on emotionally. But my daughter is doing great. She's been able to stay home and take her sophomore year of college classes right here
I
at
was going to
home.
ask you how was Judah, because she was just finishing her first year when
Yeah,
everything kind of hit, right?
yeah. Well, Judah is a very wise 18-year-old, and she knew her option was to live or die because people are dying from this COVID. And she didn't want to put herself in any kind of jeopardy. She's not playing around. I don't know what
Okay.
everybody else is doing, but she said, no, I'm going to stay home because we have literally been quarantined since March. We've gone to Walmart. We go for our walks. We go to Publix. We've gone to Tassili's every now and then to get some of their kale wraps, honey. I can't live without those. But that's it. We worship from home. Everything else we do from home because I like life and I'm not taking this thing for granted. So she's been doing okay.
That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
well, she's had such an awesome, mother and
thank you.
just a talented coach and everything. So I'm not surprised that she's like, you know what? No, I need to get on back to that.
And our
I'm not
relationship
surprised.
is unbelievable. I mean, it's really like sisters. There was that period, of course, where I'm raising her and grooming her, and I had to implement the discipline and so forth. But I always did it with love. I was always the fun mom, although I was the disciplinarian. Now, oh my God, Daryl, we have so much fun. We laugh so loud. I know our neighbors are like, what are they doing in there? We just have a good time. And it's still my responsibility as her mom to make this period enjoyable because I have considered what it must do to her psyche to have to go to college at home. She was supposed to be an RA this year. You
Wow.
know, she is still the president of the Black Student Union on her campus, but from a distance. Her dance classes have to be taken here in the living room. She's a musical theater major. So she's doing her voice classes from here. Thank God I bought her a keyboard several years ago. Her piano classes are done here. But guess what? She's still going to be on the president's list and stay on
Okay.
that, keep that
Come
4.0
on.
this year, just like she did last year. Honey, mommy's going to make sure that that empowerment and that support that she needs to get through this is there.
That
It's
is
an
so
interesting time
awesome.
in life, honey. This is a historic time in life. Look, 25 years from now, people are going to be saying, what was it like living through COVID-19?
Mhm,
You know, the way we ask
mhm.
people, what was it like coming through civil rights? What,
Yep,
what was that experience like? We're going to be historic.
yep. That's
Ah,
right. You're right.
yeah.
You're right. I love your attitude just gives me so much joy. Like the way that you don't let anything steal your joy. You choose to smile and live and thrive through all of this. I needed this today. So thank you so much. How has everything, with Judah being home, what we just talked about with the climate of our country, how has it affected your gifting, your talent? Are you finding yourself singing about certain things or you're being drawn to certain work? How is it affecting your work?
Well, fortunately, I did get a gig a couple of months ago, something I did with Life University. So that was great. Had a little acting gig, and I was like, oh, finally something. I got lines to learn, yay. Because I was just starting Bright Star rehearsals when
Mhm.
we shut down. We were in rehearsals for 1 week at Georgia Ensemble Theater. And after that, we got one paycheck. And And like everyone else, I was so naive. I thought this was going to be a
Mhm.
week or two, or we'll be back in 3 weeks. I get a little hiatus and then we're going to come back to work. I didn't know what this journey was going to be, honey. None of us did. And I've been singing a little, not as much because my spirit, has been heavy.
Mhm.
Um, I've been doing a lot of soul searching. That's been fun
Amen.
because I'm more grounded now, Daryl, than ever before. And where I thought that I loved and appreciated and accepted all parts of me before, I adore me now, flaws and all, because it makes me me. I embrace my quirkiness. I embrace my sternness. I embrace my humor. I embrace my stubbornness. All of it. All of it. And where I used to criticize aspects of my personality, wishing I wasn't this and wishing I was that. Oh, this has caused me to love me more and to see me through the way God sees me, because I used to think that God was angry and all of this stuff that we're taught in legalistic religiosity. And that is not my God at all. Yeah. So this has been a wonderful spiritual journey, and I'm grateful.
Man, that's beautiful. I think this is the same for me. It's brought me. We talked earlier about being a roller coaster ride for me and
Yeah.
a roller coaster of emotions, but it did bring me closer to my husband, closer to myself, closer
Yeah.
to God. It made me. I had to sit still for a while, and I see a lot of people like frantically trying to move and do stuff, and
You
it
know
drives.
why? Because they don't have anything inside. They need something else to fill their cup. And that's why it's so hard for them. That's why we can't get rid of this coronavirus, because everybody's so busy because they don't have the ability and the know-how to sit still. They need some other things and people to validate who they are, to make them feel alive. And that's sad. It's sad. I'd like to talk to them. I can put them on the right track.
Okay, well, I'm gonna send them in your
Oh,
direction.
baby, yeah,
I'm
wrap them
like,
right up.
look. I'll be like, y'all contact Terry for some healing right now during this season, okay? But I mean,
Yeah.
speaking of that, your tone and the way that you love being in the show with you is like having a cast that's filled with you and certain people is like no other cast. How do you feel about, I know Gail and Oprah and Mary J talked about being called auntie, but how do you feel about that term being thrown around in the Black community for people to call certain women auntie and look for them for that advice? Does that make you feel a certain kind of way?
You know, I'm from the old school.
Mm,
Call me Miss.
come on.
I ain't your aunt. No, you know,
Okay.
because let me tell you why.
Hmm.
What I have noticed is that these young children, young people, I don't even want a college student calling me Terry. You're not grown. You're not an adult. And you don't have to call me Miss Henry, all right, unless I'm in a business or formal setting. But before you call me auntie, I prefer Miss Terry,
Okay.
because Miss still is a sign of respect. Auntie is still too familiar because you may not be in my immediate circle of life for an extended period of time. Auntie is when I know you're going to be around for me and I
Mhm.
am going to play the role of an aunt
Come
for
on.
you. I will always be there. You will be there in my life. But
Right.
for situations where our interaction is circumstantial and
Hmm.
temporary, call me Miss Terry. I like that. Now,
Okay.
I'm not offended by calling, you can call me by my first name. Because some folks are
Right.
like, no, you've got to call me by my last name, Miss
Hmm.
or Mrs. Hootie Hootie Ha Ha. No, just call me Miss Terry. It's
Okay.
all right.
Yes, call me Miss Terry. Don't call you auntie, call you Miss Terry.
Yeah, don't call me auntie, you know, because shucks, I still feel like I can call some people auntie. I don't know.
Right.
I haven't fallen into my age yet, thank God. I still have my
Okay.
youthfulness. So
Yes,
I
you
have
do.
people who I am close to who are not my aunts, but
Hmm.
I call them auntie. They're not my family members. I call
Hmm.
them auntie, and they love that. Give me another
Wow.
25 years, you can call me auntie.
Right, right. A little
You're
longevity.
not,
Be around
I'm
for a
not
while.
there yet. Yes, but I've got auntie wisdom for you, baby.
Come on. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Well, what are you, how are you staying active? What are you working on right now where as a community we can support you? Not just what you're working on, but is there anything you need assistance with that we can reach out to the community and get you help for?
Wow, thank you. Well, I'll tell you, I am working on, I start rehearsals in a couple of weeks on my first virtual workshop called Far Away from Home, directed by David Cote here in Atlanta, written by Candy Dugas. I got the little list here. That's the music director is Christian Magby.
Of
Yes,
course, the
she's gonna
magnificent
MD.
Christian.
Lamont Hill, Eugene Russell and his wife Naima, and
Mm,
myself. And it's going to be so exciting. You know, we haven't had our first rehearsal yet. But from what I gather, it's going to be similar to when Esperanza Spalding did her live album a few years ago. She just made it up as she went along and created this masterpiece, right? This spontaneous masterpiece. Well, there is a guideline for this play. And so there's going to be 6 workshop segments. The tickets are free on Zoom. And after every reading, the audience gets to talk back. And
come
then
on.
Candy is going to continue to write and take the ideas from the viewers and implement that and eventually come up with a one-of-a-kind, unique audience participation stage play. So right now we've got the skeleton and we're just going to kind of go. I'm so excited about this journey. You know, one thing about COVID, it has made you delve into different layers of creativity, things that the mind could not even imagine. Who would have ever thought about anything like this, you know?
Yeah, I think it's good too. It's forcing, it's opening up new mediums and new possibilities for us to
Yes.
not just showcase work, but like you all are workshopping a piece.
Work.
And I haven't heard of those. Like usually they do the read throughs, the virtual readings, and then they have a talk back afterwards. But to workshop and keep it in rotation and continue to write in real time, that's
Yes.
pretty good. That's going to
And
be
to
awesome.
talk back after every performance. So we start in September and we end in November. Yeah. So
It's
it's
gonna be
gonna,
awesome.
I'm looking forward to that. Um, I'm playing around with the idea of a YouTube channel because even though I'm an actress and a singer and former model and all of that, my degree is in communications.
Hmm.
I radio, television, journalism, public speaking, all of that. And when I was in corporate America, I got to incorporate all of those skills. Unhappily, because I hated corporate America, but you know, you've got to pay the bills until Denzel calls, and so. But now I will say that this has caused me to say, you know, there are things I still wanted to do and was looking for the industry to give me that avenue to use other aspects of my gifts and my talents and my skills and my training. Maybe I should think of some things myself because I love communicating with people. Obviously, I'm a people person. I'm a great communicator. Public speaking, public relations is another gift, you know, because I've got the gift of exhortation. So communications was just a natural progression because you're always, you know, reaching out to people or touching folks. So I'm toying with some things that I never thought about before, and a YouTube channel or a podcast is certainly on the list.
Yeah, come on. We want it, please. We want to see more of you. Like, definitely, I'll be reaching out so I can get that information about the workshop and
Yes.
blast it out. We do have an AOC, Artists of Color, Facebook page, and working on a YouTube channel for them as well.
Wow.
But yeah, send us that information and we can blast it out as much as you're doing. I mean, the world needs to see more of you, pretty much, is what I'm saying. Like, we need to
Thank
see
you,
more of
Daryl.
that smile and more of
I
that
think
talent.
so
So,
too.
come on.
Now, wait, you see, people think that this fan is a shtick. I'm always hot. I mean, I'm always hot, but I'm always
I've
hot. You
always
know, it
seen,
is
I've
that
always
time of life, baby. This
I've
is no
always
joke,
seen you
Daryl.
with a designer fan. I've always seen you with the fan. You pull out a fan in that bag.
Because let me tell you something. This change, remember that episode on The Cosby Show with Felicia
Mhm,
Rashad? She was sticking her head in the freezer, turn the heat on, turn the heat off. I thought it was exaggerated.
It's
And I
not.
thought my grandmother and my mom were being dramatic. I was just like,
Mm-mm.
don't nobody go through all that. Baby, let me tell you, karma. This is my karma for disbelieving my grandmother, my mother. Honey, look, it is 11 o'clock in the morning. You see me, the air is on, huh? The fan over there is on, sucking up the humidity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm hot.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Terry, I love talking to you. We're definitely going to be looking out for the workshop and want you to go ahead and start that
Always
YouTube
on
channel.
hold.
Let me know if you need some help. I'll help you out. I think this is awesome. I think everything that you brought to the table, not just in Atlanta, but you know, your camera work, your stage work, your vocals, it's all a part of who we are and made me really feel like, oh my God, I need to be a part of this family. I need to do this for a living. You made me feel like it was possible by just sharing your talent with us and
Well,
showcasing
because
your
you're
talent
so
with us the way you've
awesome.
done. So thank
Yeah,
you, thank
bro, let
you,
me tell
thank
you,
you.
people did not come to see you when we did Sundays at 4.
Mhm.
Every time you walked on the stage, once people got a taste of you after that first scene, y'all, it took one scene for the
Mhm.
audience to love him. We did the opening scene. Anytime he set foot on stage, before he opened his mouth, the audience they would just start laughing because they knew that they were about to get blown away by something he would say in the way he would say. Daryl, you are fierce and
Oh,
phenomenal. And I really hope
thank
to work with
you.
you again in any
Yes,
capacity,
thank you.
particularly on stage, because you are the bomb. You really are.
Oh, thank you.
You
And you
really
are
are.
the bomb. You are two bombs.
The
You're three
bomb.
bombs. How about that? But thank you so much, Terry, for joining us. This
Thank
has been
you.
another AOC Artist Check-In with the fabulous Miss Terry Henry. Y'all make sure to check her out and look out for that workshop and look out for
Yes.
that YouTube channel coming soon, all right?
Yes, I'll
All
actually
right.
have I'll post information on my
Mhm,
Instagram at Terry Time Henry, and it's
mhm.
TerryTime Henry, because everything is done in Terry time, and and then on Facebook at Terry Henry Henry. Daryl, I'm so grateful for this. I
Thank
needed this. You
you.
know, we don't get a lot of interaction with people, and this
Yes,
is such a genius idea for you
you're
to do
welcome.
this.
You're welcome. It's just a start, and we're gonna get those the YouTube, the Instagram handle, and your Facebook name across the screen so people can find you and look up that information. But thank you, Terry. You've lifted my spirits today, and I'm
Thank
sure everyone that watches this broadcast will feel the same way. You're
Thank
amazing.
you. And
Thank
God
you
bless
so
you
much.
guys. Y'all
Until
stay
next time,
centered
y'all.
and hold on. Stay centered, get anchored, because we're not
Mhm.
finished yet. Just
Come
hold on
on.
a little while longer. This is a small moment within the big scope of our lives. You got to
Mm.
look at it that way. It's a small moment in the big scope of our whole lives. We can get through this.
Wow, look at that, right up until the end. Thank you. Wow. Have a good time, everybody. Until next time, this
Bye.
has been Artist Check-In.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you.